This live stream is for only my friends and subscribers. I think this is the only real way to actually keep out the creepy people. Thank you, best friend. Here's one for you too. Also, I'm live now. Oh, I'm thinking of taking this to my Blake bedroom. I don't want people to think I block everyone. I only block those I feel uncomfortable with. What the?
What can I say?
Here's a hug for you. My stepdad's home now, but he won't bother us. Alright. I think this live stream is going to go on very nicely. Bloody dogs. Alright. Here's a hug from Doka. I'm going in my bedroom. Oops, no, I don't want to leave. Cancel. Here's a hug for you, my dear. I'm thinking of, for now on, mostly only doing subscribers only mode.
She was in there doing her thing, so it wasn't so loud, right? And I'm going in my room, I'm seeing quieter and loud. In there in her room.
And guess what? I've done something very clever.
Putting on the couch, look.
I am not peeing on the couch. Can you believe him? Seriously? Oh, I'm so glad this is subscribers only mode. Been there forever, exactly. Doofus head, Wayne. So for a little bit, best friend, it might just be you and me, but maybe Joe Garp will show up because she's subscribed to my channel. Did I subscribe to her? If I didn't, I might have to. How about a smooch, my dear? I know you can't resist me. Joker, you're supposed to eat the soup with a spoon, not smear all over your face like a frickin' toddler. Oh, look what you done to your foot. Ah, there we go. Joker is T-posing. Now he's doing the splits. Ooh, crack. Joker, did you ever clean this outfit? Have you heard of a washing machine? No? That one! There is a way to clean your dirty clothes, you know. I like that thumbnail, just me staring at Joker. Oh, a salad? Well, why didn't you eat it? Oh my. Most brutal chimp attacks at the zoo. I never trust those animals.
Via also needs to gain respect amongst the females, and one way is to defend them when they're in trouble. It's 1 p.m. 40-year-old
Uh-oh, I think Joker's heading for your place, best friend. I can hear him.
For chimps, this is a show of trust, but the male won't let go.
You are potentially putting your hand at risk. It's possible for him to bite a hand off. It's not uncommon for chimps to have digits missing.
Word
Now.
seems to have got to Via, as seconds later she attacks the male.
They're attacking each other, not humans.
And dominant male Dylan wades in to support her. Friday turns to Carlos for protection, and the teenage challenger goes to confront Dylan.
When chimps, especially males, when they start fighting, it can get
What
very,
the heck?
very
Oh, it's
horrific.
my book on doing
They are such
animation.
incredibly strong animals. They kill a man.
Smooching. I meant to say it came out as smoking. He'll be looking around dozens of homes to find me as I never told him where I was.
The standoff continues. Popular teenager Carlos is challenging alpha male Dylan. And it's Dylan, the current king, who concedes.
Dylan backed down. Carlos was swaggering around.
This title
and
sure
then
is
ran
misleading.
off, feeling quite happy with himself.
I will find you, my dear.
Between these two males is shifting.
Don't bet on it,
Dylan
Joker.
will stand up to him. If Carlos wants to move somewhere and Dylan's in the way, he'll push Dylan out of the way. And by backing off to Carlos, Dylan loses a bit of face in the eyes of the rest of the group.
It looks like Dylan's crown is there for the taking.
Basically, the dominance is Carlos's whenever he wants it. If Carlos is pushing for it, Dylan will just walk away. Self-preservation.
What can I say? I'm just a very happy maniac today.
Ooh, this Joker's fond of rhymes. Or Joker X
As the
Batman,
dominant
lol.
male, it's Dylan's job to sort out fights and keep the new baby safe. But today he's neglecting his duties.
Looks like it's only just you and me for the moment, best friend. You know what? I think I kind of like it. It's different. I mean, we don't have any creeps in the chat. We don't have any people asking weird questions and everything. None of that stuff. I'm pretty happy about that. What a joke. No, Batman. No, Batsy. Haven't you heard? What do you mean, no such thing? You know why I'm laughing, my dear? I found the key to your house. You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare destroy it. Oh, you make my world. Way too dangerous to be kept as pets. Ooh, 4 days ago. This looks interesting.
How good I see it as Flex 58. Around 57% of households own pets. These pets come in many different shapes and sizes, but dogs, cats, fish, and reptiles make up the majority. There are many different breeds of cats and dogs that are available to own, and there are many different species of reptiles and fish that you can also keep. For some people, this selection of animals just isn't enough, and they want to keep an animal that's on the wilder side.
And they
When it
shouldn't.
comes to pet ownership, nobody wants to hear that they are not able to keep
Ooh,
an animal,
I
or that they
would.
are not doing enough to care
No,
for
you
their
wouldn't.
pet. Some animals are a lot harder to care
You
for
wouldn't
than
dare.
others, and some animals simply shouldn't be kept as pets at all. In most countries around the world, there are laws that come with pet ownership, and in most cases this means that you are not able to keep dangerous animals. Unfortunately, in some areas such as America, this is not the case, and in some states people are able to keep surprisingly dangerous creatures.
And they
In
shouldn't.
this video I'll be going through just a few of these pets, as I'll be going through 5 animals that are too dangerous to be pets. And our first group of animals are the primates. As primates are
At
quite
least the
closely
pain
related
is in a
to
good
us,
mood.
they exhibit some similar behaviours. They can come across as intelligent, loving and caring, and this means that many people fall in love with them, and in some cases want to keep them as pets. Some common types of primates that are kept as pets are marmosets
I
and
love
squirrel
keeping
monkeys. And
marmosets.
although these animals are very hard
But
to
they shouldn't be
look after,
kept
they
as
are not the
pets.
worst
They're still
primates
wild
you can keep.
animals.
It's very hard to recreate their natural habitats, and as they need mental stimulation, this often means that they need around-the-clock care. Primates in the pet trade are usually removed from their mothers at a young age, and this is often
Terrible.
damaging for the individuals.
Having
Most
something that
primates
would
are highly
stain the
social
dress.
animals, and keeping them alone is inhumane. One
Don't do it, my dear!
ownership is the
That
fact that
dress
it
was
seems to attract a
priceless.
certain type of person. It's not out of the ordinary to see a primate owner treat their primate like a human, and this often involves dressing them up. This is of course inhumane, and is a very strange way to treat a wild animal. Although these are many reasons as to why you shouldn't keep a primate, some people ignore these reasons, and it gets even worse if you keep larger primates. The chimpanzee is one of the most controversial pets that you can keep, and this is definitely for a reason. Not only will they cost you upwards of $60,000, but it could also cost you your life. Although they exhibit many positive human behaviors, they also share our bad ones too. They are often greedy and selfish, and are prone to lashing out in anger. This was definitely the case with one individual known as Travis, who was both a chimpanzee and an actor. He played parts in television shows and commercials, including a role in a Pepsi ad. Unfortunately, his life would come to an end in February 2009, after he attacked and mauled his owner's friend. This chimp blinded the woman.
He
severing
never
body
should have been
parts and
kept as a
lacerating
pet.
her face. Eventually, a
He
police
should have lived
officer
out in the
arrived and
wild
shot
or in a
Travis dead.
sanctuary.
This is a rather frightening example of why you shouldn't keep chimpanzees as pets.
Some stupid
Hopefully
people
this
still
thing
keep
like this
them.
won't ever happen again. But our next group of animals are the snakes. Now, in most cases, snakes actually make good pets.
Oh, nice, best friend. I suppose
suppose
you're gonna have some really nice pasta. I had fish and chips last night.
There are many different species that
It's apparently a really common meal in Australia, and I love it. Bella Italia. I've never heard of that place.
keep in the pet trade today, and these can be both venomous and non-venomous. Both of these types of snakes can be dangerous in their own right, but most common species in the pet trade are quite harmless. Some of the more problematic types of snakes that you can keep are both the pythons and the constrictors. When a snake becomes too large to care for, it can often be very hard to rehome it, or even donate it to a zoo. Instead of killing their pets, many people then release their snakes into the
And they
wild,
shouldn't
and this
do
can have
that.
a massive negative effect on the ecosystem. The most famous example of this is in Florida, where many pythons and boa constrictors are now invasive. They completely destroy the native wildlife, and since their introduction into the Everglades, the mammal population has plummeted. But as well as being a threat to the native wildlife, some snakes are even a threat to
Why
humans.
can't people
If you're
just
bitten
get
by a
them
highly
out of
venomous
there if
snake,
they're an
you will
invasive
need
species?
antivenom. and most medical facilities don't have a wide array of antivenoms. This can sometimes mean that if you're bitten, it's game over, and there is simply no way back. Non-venomous snakes can be equally as dangerous, because as some large constrictors take down larger prey than us, they are very able to take down a human, and this happens more often than you might think. It happened to a man in Maryland this year, and it also happened to a man in England in 2018. So although it is possible to keep snakes safely and humanely, some of the more dangerous
If you want a
species
pet
really
snake,
should be
just
kept
keep a
as
fucking
pets.
corn
Our
snake
next
or
group of
milk
dangerous
snake.
pets are the bears. Now there are 8 species of bear alive today, and these species are spread around the world. In most
Oh, hi, Robert Butler. Considering I set my live stream to subscribers only, you're one of my subscribers, aren't you? You have to be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be commenting. Anyways, welcome to the chat. Yep, lol. Huh, great. Because I did a previous live stream that I had to delete because some complete strangers started saying some weird things, and one of them even upset my best friend, and I had to block them. So I've decided to set this live stream to subscribers only. I think that's the best way to keep the creeps away. Lisa sees rip them. Lisa sees the chocolates. Lisa moves away from it like she is scared of that. I don't like it when people upset my best friend.
most countries around the world, they're seen as fearsome predators, but bears are often misunderstood creatures. Unfortunately, all around the world, bears are mistreated, and some are threatened with extinction. In some parts of Asia, bears are milked for their bile, and this is often used in traditional medicine. These bears are kept in extremely inhumane conditions, and they live
I
a
don't
very
even want to
miserable
look at
life
that.
until they die. Historically, bears have been kept in circuses, where they have often been forced to dance. And once again, this was a
Why
very
are humans
practice,
so
but luckily this
freaking
practice has
cruel?
mostly disappeared today. In some very rare cases,
Polar
bears are
bears?
humanely kept as
They
pets.
hunt
This is
humans.
sometimes
Why the hell would
for
someone
kept
want them in a
as
fucking
pets, and the
circus?
cubs being looked after and raised. Keeping an adult grizzly or black bear is often a very bad idea and can even result in your death. Bears can be very unpredictable.
They can kill you with a single sweat of their paws.
It really stands no chance. In 2018, a Russian man was
Exactly,
killed
best friend.
by a bear he rescued as a cub.
Or
These creatures know how
SFW for short.
unpredictable they can
You
be.
get snakes here because they also love the Everglades. Robert, Joker is madly in love with me.
Powerful predators are still kept as pets. But our next animal is the American alligator. Now this reptile
Well,
is
they're
of
cute when
course
they're
native to
babies,
the
but when
Southeast
the
United
alligators
States,
grow
and
up,
it's one of just 2 species
ooh.
in this genus. The other is of course the Chinese alligator, but this reptile is a lot smaller. Although these reptiles are very small when they're young, they can grow up to a foot each year. They need a lot
There's
of
a few
space to
species of
reproduce humanely,
crocodilians
and
that
of
stay
course they
little.
need a lot of food. A growing alligator can eat up to a quarter of its weight in one meal, and this diet proves to be very expensive. They can also live to up to 50 years in captivity, which means an alligator could easily outlive
I
you.
think they can live longer than
Alligators
that.
are not very cuddly creatures, and in most cases they're kept just to show off. There's no doubting the fact that an alligator can take down a human. Although
From what I know, alligators are more peaceful than crocodiles, but they still kill
This is because
people.
usually alligators are interested in other prey, and an attack usually results in a loss of a limb instead of a loss of a life. Like
Yeah.
other crocodilians, they tend to death roll. And this
Because alligators don't do the death roll. That's why there probably has not been as many fatalities. Oh no, Joker has the key to my house. Where did he find that key? Why should I tell you, my dear? Oh, I totally agree. They're adorable when they're babies.
usually used to tear off limbs. If you get too close to your pet gator, this could happen to you. And this is exactly what happened last year when an alligator handler was attacked at a children's
He
birthday
lived?
party. I'm unable to show the
Oh,
video
she
on YouTube,
lived.
but I've left it linked down below. And it really just goes to show how dangerous these reptiles can be. But a final group of dangerous pets are, of course, the tigers. Because of the popularity of many
Tigers.
people have seen into the strange world of tiger ownership in the US. People only really tend
Who
to
cares
buy
how
tigers
beautiful
to
they
show
are?
off.
Don't keep
This
them as
often leads to them
pets.
living very miserable lives. As one of the world's largest land predators, in the wild they have massive territories. They can roam many miles in one
Exactly.
day, and often have to take down extremely large prey to survive. This is of course impossible to
I ain't
recreate
giving you
completely,
nothing, my
and
dear,
many
except
animals
my
suffer.
love.
As tigers aren't the safest creatures to kill, it's actually illegal to cuddle up to your pet tiger when it's an adult. To make their pets safer, some keepers declaw their tigers, but this practice itself
Oh, How is declawing going to do anything? They still got their massive teeth and fangs. They can still kill you. They can easily kill you with a single swipe of their paw. Who gives a shit about Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I got this. Get out that phone charger. I can continue the fun until dinner time. Yay! I totally agree. I can handle curse words as long as they're not used towards someone in a negative way. No need to hide that. Damn it. Oh. Whew. Whew. Damn charger. We're all adults here, lol. Yep, sure are, Robert Butler. Alright, back to the video. Come on, Joker. Come on, Joker. Give me key. Trying to reach for it. You're gonna have to try harder than that.
Itself is very inhumane. This practice involves the amputation of a significant part of bone and can lead to lifelong health complications. This again leads to the tiger having a miserable life. And
Cats need their claws.
mean that it's completely safe to be around. A 52-year-old woman was killed by her pet tiger in 2006, and shockingly in the UK in 2019, a zookeeper at Hamilton Zoo Park was killed by one of the captive tigers. This danger doesn't put off the craziest of people, and unfortunately there's a lot of crazy people to go around. It's estimated that there are around 5,000
Crazy?
in the US. This is more than the wild population of around 3,900. This statistic is shocking and upsetting, and tigers really do need your help. I've left links to tiger charities in the description
Let them live
down
in the
below. And hopefully
wild.
with your help, they'll be able to
Give me the
bounce
key,
back
Joker,
in the
damn it.
future. If you know of any other creatures that could have been on this list, then let me know down
Oh, there are plenty more dangerous creatures that could be on that list. Hang on. Animals. I'm going to look at more animals you shouldn't keep as pets. Here we go. 15 most dangerous animals kept as pets.
My name is Khan. Today I'm going to show you how to make my KFC Korean fire chicken using wicked wings. So good.
Ah, my tooth. And I've maxed out my dental. Switch to AA.
I'll be in your house by then, my dear.
Domesticated by their unorthodox donors, proving that you can think outside the box when it comes to adopting an animal companion. If you thought your dog had a mean bark, wait until you see these petrifying pets. These are the 15 most dangerous animals kept as pets.
No, this should be good. Let me in, my dear!
Little boy and his python. Most little boys befriend a puppy or a kitten, but this kid is one of a kind. Sambath found himself with a peculiar playmate after his mother found a tiny snake in their house in Setbo village, Cambodia. She kept the small serpent after dreaming about a great snake that protected her family. But little did she know that the python would grow up to have such an unusual bond with her son. 3-month-old Sambath loved his new friend so much that they would hug, cuddle, and even sleep together in his crib. They named the python Cam Rowan, which translates to progress in English, and the little boy even learned to crawl alongside the baby snake who was just starting to slither. Before they knew it, this dangerous creature had grown into a 16-foot-long, 220-pound snake. But by then, their bond was already unbreakable, and the boy and the snake's unusual friendship started to gain attention around the world.
As long as the kid does not underestimate his friend.
12 miles south from Cambodia's capital of Phnom Penh, tourists started to travel to check out the kinship between this young boy and the gigantic python. This snake even had its own 7 by 10 foot room, complete with a little spirit house where Sambath's father would pray that the huge python would keep their family safe. However, it looks like this love story has a not so happy ending. When this enormous snake bit the boy, the family was forced to give up their fanged family member. Sambath was heartbroken, but reportedly told the press that he wants his next pet to be a bunny rabbit. Now let's
Smart choice, kid. Smart choice.
get ready for today's missing topic. This insane image surfaced on the web a few years ago, and we've wondered who this wolf woman is ever since.
Wolves?
These gigantic wolves would normally run wild in the forests of Alaska, Canada, or even Russia. However, here they seem to be on a leash at the command of a mysterious girl. Could there be corners of the earth where keeping deadly wolves as a pet is a way of life? After all, we know that there are sledders in the Arctic who keep entire packs of huskies at home. Perhaps wolves make loyal companions too. So, what do you guys think? Are these giant beasts really part of the family? Join the conversation by using the hashtag #MissingTopic.
They could be wolf dogs.
Did you know that if you smash the like
But they're
button,
still
subscribe,
quite dangerous.
click the notification bell, you're more likely to win the lottery? So what are you waiting for? Russian breakfast with a bear. Most people would run from this ursine creature, but this Russian family welcomed a giant brown bear into their home with open arms. Stepan has lived with the Pantelenko family for over 25 years after being adopted at just 3 months old.
That's a long life.
He's a real member of the family. This adorable bear even eats at the table and cuddles up on the
So he's never turned against them?
couch to watch his favorite shows. Yeah, we know what you're thinking. It's pretty unusual to live with a gigantic brown bear, but Svetlana and Yuri have an extremely special bond with this wild animal. They found Stepan as a tiny cub orphaned in the woods near Moscow and nursed him back to health, eventually adopting the bear as if he were their own child. The brown bear is totally tame and has even officiated at a wedding. Come on, how awesome would it be to get married by a bear? Stepan probably wouldn't have survived by himself in the wild, so it seems as though he was pretty blessed to have been adopted by his human parents.
I wouldn't
What do you guys
recommend it.
think? Should wild animals stay
I wouldn't recommend it, no matter how friendly they may seem.
in the wild? Kojak, the croc. We can't think of a creature that would make much more of an unlikely pet. This domesticated croc lived like one of the family in Bogor, West Java for more than 21 years. Erwan and his wife even described Kojak as one of their grandchildren, even though he's 9 feet tall and 900 kilograms.
It doesn't seem
While
that
owning
big
exotic
compared to
animals
other
is a common
crocodiles I've
occurrence
seen on
in
the internet.
Indonesia, keeping a gigantic croc as a pet certainly is unusual. This is one brave couple. They adopted the dangerous reptile when it was just a tiny baby, measuring a measly
Well, on the land, they're not really as quick usually.
10 centimeters. However, this cute critter eventually grew up. They fed their pet croc
Oh, hello, Lucas Green. Hey, we're all a bit cuckoo here. Who doesn't have more than a few bats flying around their belfry? So, Miss J, I'll assume you'll be taking my offer into an Arkham Asylum on a harder difficulty than you usually do as a live stream. It'd be awesome to see. I would love to do that at some point, Lucas Green. But I would have to do it at an early time when there's only like me and my mother in the house, because it might be hard to focus when there's 3 people in the house. So I'll have to pick a certain day to do that live stream. But I would definitely love to do it. Is my best friend still here? Oh yeah, of course. She's she's in the shower.
a whopping 2 kilograms of fish every day. And their human grandchildren even brush the reptile's teeth with no fear.
I
for
like
their
a
safety.
challenge.
Looks like
I should
Kojak
try
really
the
was
harder mode.
domesticated. However, after viral vids of Kojak started to circulate online, officials from the Natural Resources Conservation Agency came to remove Kojak from Erwan and his family's home. Much to their heartbreak, crocs are a protected animal under Indonesian law, and he was taken to Taman Safari Conservation Park. Vets put Kojak on a strict diet due to all the treats he had been
What's your problem?
I think they did the right thing.
eating at home. This sad separation was ultimately for the best. Kojak got to live a life more suited for a croc.
Yeah, I think Kojak got a better life.
Lion cubs for the grandkids. These unbelievable pets had a rough start in life. When Palestinian refugee Saad al-Jamal saw these 2-month-old lion cubs at Rafah Zoo, he fell in love with the captive cats.
Do people
Zoo had
realize
been
how big
damaged
they
by
get?
airstrikes, and so Saad decided to adopt these majestic creatures and take them home to the Al-Shabora refugee camp in the southern Gaza Strip. These big cats soon became a part of the family, and they named the female cub Mona and the male one Alex. His 6 grandchildren loved playing with the cubs, and they would run around the apartment and play fight out in
Too
the
bad they
streets.
don't stay
However,
little.
cute little cubs don't stay cute little cubs forever. Before long, these small lions were starting to grow up and become more and more fearsome. Pretty soon, they were becoming a burden, and keeping up with their huge appetites for meat was proving to be expensive. The animal welfare group 4 Paws intervened when Alex and Mona were being kept confined inside and took responsibility for the big cats. Maybe lions don't make the best pets after all. Looks like it's just the circle of life.
I totally agree. Just washing the top of my hair, Joker, as it's greasy, so no French fry taste in my hair, Joker. What's next?
The hyena man. Hyenas are known for being vicious, ruthless scavengers who will kill humans in a heartbeat. In fact, most communities in Africa will avoid contact with these
What? Some people have formed bonds with
wild animals at
hyenas.
all costs. However, in some countries, people have learned to live alongside the cackling hyenas, even feeding and petting them. In Harar, Ethiopia, humans and hyenas
I
have
think
lived
it's a little bit different when they formed a bond with someone and they see someone as part of their clan. But no, hyenas don't make good pets.
peacefully for 200 years. After a rocky history, centuries ago, hyenas used to attack townspeople until they came up with a smart solution. They carved holes in the city walls and threw scraps
I
of
feel
meat
sorry
out
for
to
the
keep the beasts at
hyenas.
bay. Since then,
Having
people
to
like
wear
Abbas
muzzles.
Youssef have used this technique to feed and train the ferocious hyenas and even attract crowds of tourists. He's even known as the hyena man, and he inherited the unusual skill from his father, who also managed to tame these wild beasts. In Abaju, Nigeria's capital, there are groups of nomadic people who learn to
They
train
are
the
smart
feared hyena as
animals.
children. They handle the wild dog with no
They're
physical
not dogs! Okay, Robert Butler. I'm not Joker property. Yeah, might probably be some really funny reactions though. And you know what? I don't think I will take out the death scenes. In fact, I might even put them on it as a separate video because if I'm going to play it on a harder difficulty, is a chance that Batman is going to die a lot of times.
Their unique relationship with hyenas,
Get out of my face.
and partly due to a mysterious medicine that the so-called hyena men drink for courage and strength. You can even see these guys commanding the deadly animals to sit and actually hugging the hyenas. We can't believe that these dangerous animals could really be kept as pets. Mezzy, the mountain lion. Anyone who lives with a cat will know exactly
I don't
how
think that
fierce
mountain lion is full-sized. Best friend, what do you think when Joker says my hair tastes of French fries? Probably, he feels very hungry,
these
as
strong-minded
I am.
felines can be. Now, house cats are one thing, but a mountain lion in your apartment is a whole nother story. Mariah and Alexander Dmitriev adopted their puma after spotting him at Saransk Zoo in
Isn't
Penza
he
at just
smaller?
8 months old. They fell in love with the furry cub and managed to convince zookeepers to let them take him home. Shockingly, they agreed, and this brave Russian couple fell in love with their dream pet. Mezzy the puma is now a 90-pound, fully grown adult and shares a small studio apartment with his new human owners. They even converted their hallway into a lion's den, complete with a tree, hidey holes, and
I
walls
just hope people remember that they are wild
made of
animals.
bamboo. It seems like Mezzy is living his best life. Mariah and Alexander take their pampered puma out for walks, feed him a diet of raw meat, and take him for training sessions 4 times a week. He even has his very own Instagram account, along with 1.4 million followers who tune in to see this wild cat's antics. However, it seems that Mezzy isn't totally accepted by everyone in the family yet. Their other cat, a Sphinx, hisses and bats Mezzy away with his paws.
Well, he is a wild animal. BTW, just Rob works. Oh, y'all, lol. Joker, you belong to Miss Quinn.
Comes too close. That's one courageous kitty.
This has nothing to do with Batman Arkham Asylum, but I still remember watching a play. What was it? A playthrough? No. It was more like people playing Batman Arkham Knight and reacting to a certain scene where where after Joker is done taunting Batman outside the Batmobile about what's happening to him, he runs him over, and Joker's like, "Cut!" As if he was actually there in the hallucination. And one of the guys playing the game says, "Fuck off, Joker!" It made me laugh.
Doc Anno's Tiger Collection. Bhagavan may have found international
That
fame
looks like a
for the
liger.
show Tiger King, but he's been a well-known animal trainer for decades. You may know him best as Doc Anno, the founder of the Institute for Greatly Endangered and Rare Species, a 50-acre wildlife preserve in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Doc has trained over 400 big cats and handles many exotic animals, and raised his first ever tiger cub in 1982. Since then, he's made a name for himself in the animal handling world, and has even worked on films such as Dr. Dolittle and Ace Ventura's Pet Detective. He famously joined Britney Spears on stage during the MTV VMAs in 2001.
I'm not Miss J or
where he
Mrs.
wrangled
I'm
his pet
future
tiger
Mrs.
as
Stitch
Spears
fan.
danced with one of his pythons. More recently, Doc was featured in a sensational Tiger King docuseries, which made a string of wild claims about his Myrtle Beach
That's a
Wildlife
liger.
Preserve. However, the doc called the show a quasi-fictional drama more focused on shock value and titillation than fact. Anno, who was brought up on a cattle ranch, is now passing on his love of exotic pets to his son, Cody, who's been nicknamed the real-life Tarzan.
Tigers are so cute when they're babies.
The more variety in our social feeds, the funnier they become.
Oh, we're losing a piece of ourselves forever.
What's next?
Rare serval cat. This couple would never be happy with your average tabby cat. They've become the first people in the UK to own a rare and exotic serval cat, and they even needed a special license to keep this ferocious cat. The wild cat has to stay contained within a secure garden with a high fence, and the doors and windows of the house have to remain closed at all times in case he tries to escape. The Manchester couple feed their big cat about 20 British pounds worth of chicks, mice, and even rabbits every week, and it's currently about 3 feet long with room to grow.
As long as they're taking good care of that serval, I guess it's okay.
For hearing one of their favorite prey, which is rodents.
The exotic pet owners named this African wild cat Anubis, and he's most certainly not their first dangerous pet. They also have a Cuvier dwarf caiman, which is a small breed crocodile. This isn't your typical British house. In fact, it's more like
A Cuvier dwarf caiman? Doesn't sound very dangerous. It sounds like a little itty bitty crocodile.
aren't phased at
Barely
all
the
by their
size of a
dangerous
baby
scent,
one.
and Anubis even sleeps in his owner's bed at night. Rex the water monitor. This definitely isn't your average pet. In fact, animal experts claim that the water monitor is actually impossible to domesticate due to the fact that they're so aggressive and dangerous. The water monitor has been known to crush bones in humans, and it's also highly venomous. A bite from one of these giant lizards can result in excessive bleeding and swelling, and they can grow to over 7
Oh, these
feet.
guys love to
However,
eat
these
eggs.
freaky facts didn't put off the owner of Rex the water monitor. She adopted Rex when he
Stop
was just
using a
2 months old.
Komodo dragon. They're not exactly the
But he looked so
same.
much like a terrifying Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Big fatty when we got him. He's about
Pretty cool lizard.
3 months old. Just a hatchling.
This long lizard was raised with dogs and dines on an unusual diet of rabbits and squirrels. This huge beast weighs 50 pounds. While Rex may look pretty harmless, monitor lizards are a growing trend in the United States, with more and more people keeping them as pets. Rex even dresses up as a dragon for Halloween. Would you ever adopt one of these terrifying reptiles?
Nah. Go with the smaller monitor lizards.
And his dynasty. Meet Hulk, the largest pit bull in the world. This enormous dog weighs a staggering 174 pounds. His proud owners, Marlon and Lisa Grinnan, are the founders of Dark Dynasty Canines in New Hampshire, and they train their dogs specifically for protection services. When Hulk fathered 8 pit bull puppies, each one of them were expected to fetch a whopping $55,000. That's one expensive guard pup. Yeah, Hulk has some seriously strong genes. and his
Hopefully he's
fantastic
well
qualities
trained.
are highly coveted. This pit bull papa and his pups live together as a pack without fences or barriers, and they're so well behaved that they can interact with young children. This gentle, well-balanced family is a stark contrast to how the rest of the world often views this misunderstood breed. The pit bull has been bred to fight and attack, and has even been known to maul humans. One study even claimed that while pit bulls make up 6% of the dog population, they're actually responsible for 68% of dog attacks.
Famous dogs on the planet right now. He's 180 pounds, which makes him one of the largest pit bulls in the world.
What do you guys think of the Hulk? Is he the perfect ambassador for the pit bull breed? The Lion Whisperer. Kevin Richardson was nicknamed
Kevin Richardson,
by a British newspaper back in 2007.
who formed a bond with hyenas.
Big cat lover runs his very own wildlife sanctuary near Johannesburg, South Africa.
Don't forget the hyenas that he cuddles with.
Has been viewed more than 25 million times.
Joker, you're breaking and entering. Ooh, I wonder who the third person here is.
Since he first worked at Lion Park in 1998. One day he bonded with two 7-month-old cubs named Tao and Napoleon, and he visited them every day for the next 8 months, forming a lifelong connection that would change the rest of his life. The lions adored Richardson and his confidence to roar and interact with them. Today, he's devoted his entire career to opposing the trophy hunting of lions.
Realizing that
So they
it's not
should.
about biting Kevin's handle. She could have a good gnaw on it. If she bites me too hard, she'll get a little bit of a warning on her nut.
And he has a strict no breeding policy at his wildlife sanctuary. Just look at the way these lions worship Richardson. No wonder they call him the Lion Whisperer.
They seem to love him.
Travis the chimp goes ape. One of the most famous cases of exotic pets gone wild is the tale of Travis the chimp. This household pet was raised in Connecticut by
It was going to happen eventually.
When he was just a tiny
They're
chimpanzee.
unpredictable.
The two did everything together. Travis was like any other child. However, as he reached adulthood, problems started to arise. This fully grown chimpanzee
A top-performing superfan over
insanely strong and super powerful. And over the years, it seemed as though Travis was starting to question his place in the human world he had been raised in. Disaster struck when the chimp lashed out one day, committing a horrific attack that left Sandra's friend scarred for life.
Scarred for life? She lost her freaking face.
This totally unexpected tragedy took the world by surprise and served as a visceral warning as to how dangerous pet chimpanzees really are. Jessica the hippo. Jessica spends her days in the river of Hoedspruit.
No, I think it was no breeding. Joker, we don't even know each other.
South Africa and sleeps in her owner's house by night. Yeah, Jessica is no.
Oh no, not another person who owns a hippo.
Pet. And this gentle giant is one of the only pet hippos in the world.
Gentle giant, my foot.
Dangerous creatures in
One guy had a pet hippo and it bloody killed him.
And it's estimated that they kill around 500 people every year.
Why the hell would you keep one as a pet?
Territorial. However, Jessica has been raised by her owners, Tony and Shirley Joubert, as if she was one of the family. Her calm and graceful nature makes her one of the most unique hippos on Earth, and tourists are even invited to join Jessica.
Probably lucky she's a female.
For a small fee, Tony has a background as a park ranger.
No, she's still got big tusks.
Was found lying at the border of Kruger Park. Ever since then, this 2,200-pound hippo has been living a charmed life at her human family's picturesque home and putting a smile on thousands of tourist faces.
Still pretty dangerous.
Tyson's Tiger Tyrants. World-famous boxing champion Mike Tyson may be known for his wild behavior, but did you know that he was once notorious for his wild pets? Yeah, Tyson placed an order for his pet tigers while he was still in prison, and the heavyweight champion even kept them in his home for over a decade. Now, that's one house that you definitely wouldn't dare to trespass into. However, that is
unless you want to lose your limbs in your face.
Tyson's property was involved in a tragic accident with one of his beloved white tigers. Tyson claimed that he paid out a cool $250,000 as compensation to this uninvited guest whose hand was severely mauled by the big cat. Since that incident, the boxer has come to realize that these rare and exotic predators cannot be domesticated, and he donated the animals to a sanctuary after 14 years in his care. Nowadays, Mike Tyson has found a forever friend in his beloved poodle. That sounds like a much more sensible pet, don't you think?
Agreed. Totally agreed.
Pet buffalo. Now, we've seen all kinds of pets before, but we've never seen a pet buffalo. Jim Soutner is famous in his small town of Spruce Grove in Alberta, Canada, for bringing his fluffy friend with him wherever he goes. The enormous creature, who goes by the name of Bailey Jr., even joins Jim at the bar for a cold beer. This hefty 800-pound buffalo is 6 feet tall and 8 feet in length, but Soutner swears that he doesn't have an aggressive bone in his body.
That I would see such a huge...
That's what they said about Travis the chimp, and look what happened.
Behave so gingerly in home.
Jim and his wife Linda have bottle-fed Bailey Jr. ever since he was a baby, and the oversized buffalo was treated as though he's their own child. Soutner even had his 987 Pontiac Bonneville converted so that his big buffalo could join him on his road trips. We don't know about you, but this buffalo kind of looks like an awesome pet. What a wild bunch. I think we'll stick to our cats and dogs. So which one of these dangerous animals could you see yourself owning as a pet?
I don't think any of them. Let's see, 10 times animals killed their owners, 10 pets that killed their owners, when animals turn against their keepers. God, there's a few of these. Check this one out. Me and Harley. No way, my dear.
Lego has taken over the golf.
10 pets who killed their owners. Well, the few who can't stand having pets around.
Oh, that's an anaconda.
These adorable creatures can sometimes turn vicious and end up claiming the lives of their owners. Other times, it's just a matter of fate, and there's no way we can escape that. Yikes. After this, you'll probably rethink having your house pet around a little bit. Stay tuned as we list 10 pets who
Thankfully,
killed
I
their
don't have
owners.
anything exotic
Number
in my
10,
house.
Dog shoots owner. To think man's best friend would be starting off this list. Our first incident is a deliberate definition of fate. Harry Price, a high school math teacher, had developed a hobby for hunting and spent most of his free time out in the jungle. On this fateful day, he'd invited one of his former students to tag along in his hunting escapade. I believe you can sense the excitement.
Maybe a different one. Love is not an open door. That song is not us, Joker.
By her very own herd. Everything was going fine until a car approached along a quiet country road. Obviously, sheep are skittish, and this loud vehicle must have startled them because they lost their minds. The sheep freaked out at the sound of the incoming vehicle, the shepherd's dog became distracted by the car, and the sheep attacked their owner. They rammed into the back of the woman's legs, knocking her over. Then they began headbutting the poor woman as she lay in the street. She was stomped on and ravaged by the angry animals. And just as the sheep backed off and she tried to stand up, one came at her from behind and knocked her over again. After the woman was knocked down the second time, the sheep ran away. By the time she got up, her sheep were fleeing on the other side of the road, trying to escape into the trees. She wasn't gravely injured by the incident, but with the help of her dog, she got the sheep back in order. Maybe next time she won't underestimate her flock. Could you imagine?
The sheep didn't kill her, though. I thought the sheep killed her.
Imagine in your wildest dreams a flock of peaceful sheep turning into murderous creatures? I never knew that sheep could become such violent maniacs.
Obviously, this guy's not heard of the film Black Sheep.
This is sad but true. Something must have gone totally wrong with this man and his dog for the events that transpired here to have even happened at all. But it's true. A man was recently eaten by his own dog in India. As horrifying as this is to hear, it's a thing that happens from time to time, although it seems as though this dog was mistreated or otherwise badly socialized to be this violent. A farm caretaker named Manny Ram was untying the farm's guard dog, a Rottweiler named Tiger, when it violently turned on him. The second that the dog was free, it locked its jaws around the man's throat and literally choked him to death. It was as if the dog was waiting for the exact moment that the restraints came off before lunging in for attack. According to eyewitnesses, the dog didn't stop at simply strangling his owner to death. Then he ripped off pieces of flesh from Manny Ram's face, hands, and chest and ate them. Police eventually arrived on the scene. They were horrified at what they found. The man had been torn apart. It took them 4 hours to catch the dog and bring it into police custody. According to the superintendent of the local police, everyone was too scared to get close to it. The dog has now been deemed too dangerous to be kept with humans, and he'll likely be euthanized. Number 8. Escape from the slaughterhouse. Polish cow did the unthinkable as it was on its way to certain doom. It attacked its owners and escaped from the slaughterhouse. This bold animal managed to liberate itself from death while its owner was trying to usher it to the abattoir to be killed for its meat. The cow got away by ramming through a metal fence and making a dash for safety. When the cow's owner tried to get him back to the farm, it managed to break one of the man's arms. The cow then took off like a wild horse, entered the water of nearby Lake Nysa in the south of Poland, and then swam to a small island positioned in the middle of the lake.
Good on you, cow!
According to the cow's owner, he stood there with his broken arm, watching in disbelief as the cow literally dove underwater on its way to the island. But the story doesn't stop here. The cow managed to find sanctuary on the small lake island. The cow's owner tried to get him back for over a week and failed at every attempt. And since then, he's just kind of accepted that the cow has won its freedom. This crazy escape artist managed to cheat its date with death, and unlike most other escapees, no one's going to apprehend or punish it.
I applaud this cow for actually wanting to survive. I really applaud it.
Breeder left the cow alone and decided not to have it shot, and a local politician even announced that it would be protected and allowed to live out its life in nature. You know, I'd never have expected any cow to try something like this, let alone succeed. Number 7. Killed by a llama. A woman in Ohio was killed.
I'm
after
happy
her
with
pet
that
llama
ending.
accidentally murdered her. The llama didn't exactly turn against the woman. On the
Jeez.
contrary, the excited animal rushed to greet its owner, slipped on a piece of wet pavement, rammed into the woman, and knocked her over. And she hit her head so hard on the pavement that she had a heart attack and died. That's the kind of freak accident you think only happens in a movie, but this was real.
It's not the llama's
Ironically,
fault.
the llama's name is Baby Doll, and after the accidental death of her owner, she needed to find a new home along with the rest of the woman's pets. Animal experts said the llama definitely didn't act out of malice, though she was undoubtedly plagued by guilt after what happened. The truth here is that llamas can be deadly whether they intend to be or not. This is especially true when dealing with larger llama males, who can get aggressive when they feel threatened. Better not invade their personal space. Number 6. Safari of Death. Wes Matthewson was a 68-year-old owner of a safari lodge and
Sorry, Harley, but I'm not interested. Go find someone else. Like Ivy.
Gippsland dairy yogurt. The taste made me do it.
Are adorable. They're cute, furry, and are amazing companions. But love them as you may, they sometimes show a
What
terrible
can I
side.
say?
A side you never would have believed. Get ready, boys and girls. Coming up are 10 stories of pets who decided to devour their owners. Number 10. A woman, her hamster, and a strange incident. Hamsters are generally harmless pets. No one would even think of a hamster when considering animals who could kill their owners. But this story shows that thinking may just be flawed. In this strange incident, a woman was found dead in her apartment. This, of course, is a sad occurrence, but it isn't too uncommon. However, what made the incident strange was the fact that her pet hamster was feasting on her. Now, again, this isn't too strange if we consider that she may have died of a heart attack. If that had happened, it wouldn't be too shocking to discover that her hamster would feast on her dead body. Now, what made this story extremely strange is the fact that there were strange markings on her face. After careful investigation, investigators
Her
discovered
hamster
that the
turned
woman owned a
homicidal.
free-range golden hamster.
Jeez.
Upon further investigation, a more macabre sight was found. Right inside one of the drawers inside the house was a terrible and downright grotesque sight. It was the hamster's burrow, and it was made of human skin, fat, and muscle tissue. This hamster hadn't only feasted on its owner, it had also made its new home from the body of its owner. Now that is some terrible stuff. Number 9. The family ferret and the child. Many families own two beings that shouldn't exist in the same place: a ferret and a baby.
At first it was joking now Harley. What next? His henchmen seem to be helping themselves into my home.
While many families think that ferrets are agile and cute, they fail to realize that ferrets have other properties too. For one, they have a pair of sharp, piranha-like teeth and have a taste for flesh. Ferrets are basically like furry little vampires. One day, a Missouri family was awakened by the crying of their child. They guessed only two things. One, he might be hungry, or two, his diaper may need changing. Never in their wildest imagination would they have guessed what they saw when they
Why
walked
did
into
they leave the
nursery.
ferret free
They met their
roaming?
bloodied child crying because their pet ferret had eaten 7 of their baby's 10 fingers off. Thankfully, they were able to take their baby to the hospital for recovery, and they managed to kill the ferret. Amazingly, that's not the only example we know of where ferrets tried to kill a baby. In another example, a couple came to their drawing room to meet their newborn baby being eaten alive by their 3 pet ferrets.
It's
Number
terrible.
8. Mark Vogel and the Deadly
Shouldn't
Spiders.
keep them when you
Mark
have a
Vogel
baby
was
around.
a 30-year-old from Germany who had the misfortune of owning an army of exotic pets: spiders, snakes, termites, and a gecko. Mark often kept these pets in a cage because he understood
Lisa
how
looking
dangerous they
annoyed.
were. But of all of his pets, one was especially dangerous, and Mark knew it. However, sometimes even foreknowledge can't help you. One day, the inevitable occurred, and the pet that Mark was most scared of, a black widow spider, escaped her cage. And from then onwards, it was game over. Although black widow spider bites rarely kill people, they can cause muscle cramps. And these muscle cramps can paralyze one to the stage where they can't call for help. It seems this was precisely what happened to Mark. Once he was attacked by the spider, it was over. Soon after, all his pets escaped from the cages he put them in, and they decided to feast on him. When investigators found Mark's body, it was covered in cobwebs, and they estimated that he must have been dead for 7 to 14 days.
Well,
Number
the
7.
animals needed something to eat.
Never keep a wolf dog. Sandra had raised a pack of 9 wolf dogs all on her own, and she was extremely devoted to them. However, it seemed that the love only went one
Some wolf dogs are okay, but she kept 9 of them, and I bet she didn't even train them or socialize them.
way. She was devoted to them, but they certainly were not devoted to her. One day, after she missed a meeting with her daughter, her estranged husband went out to look for her, only to discover that her body was in the cage of her wolf dogs, and it had been partly eaten. She had bled to death after being bitten, clawed at, and generally being injured. After her death, the wolf dog hybrids dragged her to their cages to continue to feast. Till today, we don't know why these wolf dogs had behaved like this, but we've learned one lesson. Always beware of wolf dogs. They can become quite unpredictable. Number 6. The Unnamed Man and the Bull Terrier.
Terrier?
When this unnamed man from Liverpool didn't show up to local events for a while, his neighbors got worried. They called the police to check out his home to see if something was wrong. The police went to check on him, and they found his corpse. Upon entering his house, his dog, a bull terrier, was highly agitated. At first, the police officers imagined that the dog was that way because his owner was dead. However, upon further investigation, it was discovered that the dog had been feasting on its owner for a while. That's right, the bull terrier had eaten parts of his owner before the police found him.
How's that the dog's fault? He had nothing to eat.
Number 5. The story of Janet
What happened
Beale
to
and her
him?
feline friends. Janet Veal was a British.
It's 5:52 p.m. It's not going to be long before I have my dinner. I think I might end this live stream now, best friend. Oh, by the way, I sent you one of my posts on Twitter.